Good morning and welcome in the class. Today we will discuss Norton's theorem. All of we know that Norton's theorem is a very important topic in the basic electrical engineering. Many of time we come across a very complex circuit, and in that complex circuit we have to calculate current in a branch or voltage across a branch, and that will be a very difficult work in a complex circuit. So in that case we can use Norton's theorem, and Norton's theorem simplifies our work in calculating the current in a branch or voltage across a branch. So first of all we will explain the principle, or you can say statement of the Norton's theorem. So here on the board I have written the statement of Norton theorem, and its statement is: any complex linear bilateral active network can be any complex linear bilateral active network connected across a load can be replaced by a simple two terminal network consisting a current source in parallel with a resistance across the load terminal. So this is the statement. What it states: any complex circuit which consists linear bilateral and active networks or active elements can be replaced by a simple two terminal network consisting of a current source in parallel with a resistance across the load terminals. So this is the statement, and it states that any complex circuit can be replaced by a simple two terminal network which is equivalent to a current source in parallel with a resistance across the load terminals. Now we will explain the principle of this statement, how to apply this statement or Norton theorem to a complex circuit. So now let us come to another slide, and we will explain this Norton theorem with the help of taking a complex circuit. Now for explanation, suppose we are taking a complex circuit, and suppose we have a complex circuit, and in that complex circuit we have to calculate the value of current in a branch or in a load. The branch in which we have to calculate the current is known as load. So we have to calculate current in that branch or voltage across that branch, that is, and that branch is known as load. So let us see a complex circuit. Suppose we have a voltage source here, and we are saying that this is V1, and this voltage source is connected with so many elements in the circuit, and these elements, suppose they are R1, R2, R3, and then we have a current source here, and suppose this value of this current source is I1, and again we have a voltage, or you can say a resistance here R4, and here is our load, and we want to calculate current in this load or this branch, and suppose this is known as, you can say R5, R6, whatever name we can give. So we want to calculate the current in this R5, and these are connected like this. So this is our a complex circuit. Suppose we have to calculate current here in this R5. How to calculate current? So this is this job is looking very tedious, very complex, to calculate current in R5 or branch AB. To find current in branch AB, it looks very difficult. So what we can do, we can apply Norton's theorem here. Norton's theorem we can apply. How to apply Norton's theorem, or what Norton's theorem says? It says that any complex linear bilateral active network can be replaced by a simple two terminal network having a current source in parallel with a resistance across the load terminals. So this is our load terminals, this is our load terminal, and we can replace this branch is known as load, the branch in which we have to calculate the current or voltage is known as load. So this is our load. So according to Norton's theorem, this the circuit can be replaced by a simple two terminal network having a current source in parallel with a resistance across the load terminals. So this circuit we will be replacing by a simple two terminal network in which there are two elements. One is known as a current source, this is known as Norton's equivalent current or short circuit current. We will explain how it is known as short circuit current, and a parallel resistance Rn across the load terminals. Our load will remain the same, this will remain the same across the load terminal, and here we are saying a branch is R5, this is load. We are keeping now this circuit according to Norton theorem it is equivalent to this circuit, and we have to calculate the current in this branch. So we can very easily now calculate this current, and suppose this current is your current in R5 is known as IR5, and this you can now very easily calculate its value by current division rule. You have studied current division rule. What is current division rule? This is total current IN flowing in this circuit, and there are two resistances Rn and R5. So Rn and R5, this current will divide between these two resistances. So by current division rule, current in R5, that will be IR5, it will be equal to IN multiplied by this resistance Rn divided by Rn plus R5. So this is the value of, here it is R5, or we will rewrite again. The current in R5, that is IR5, it is IN multiplied by Rn divided by Rn plus R5. So this is the value of current we can write from current division rule. This is simply current division rule, current division rule. This is simply current division rule. We have calculated this current. So by Thevenin's theorem, by applying Thevenin's theorem, Norton theorem, applying Norton theorem, we are getting this circuit, and from this circuit we have calculated value of current in R5, that is in our load. So this is how we can apply the Norton's theorem to calculate current in any branch of a circuit, any value of current in any branch of a circuit which is very complex. So this circuit looks very complex. By applying this Norton's theorem, we get a very simple circuit, and in that very simple circuit we have calculated the current in the load R5 resistance very easily by current division rule. Now we have to find out what will be the value of IN and Rn. IN is known as Norton's equivalent current, and Rn is known as Norton's equivalent resistance. So we have to calculate value of IN and Rn for this circuit. So what is the procedure? What is the procedure for finding out the Norton's equivalent current and Norton's equivalent resistance Rn. So here we calculate value of In by putting putting a short circuit across this resistance, or first of all to find In we will remove this and put a short circuit between these two terminals AB, right. So we will put a short circuit here and find the value of current in that short circuit, that will be value of In. So this is how we calculate value of In, and that's why this is also known as ISC, short circuit current. So In is known as Norton's equivalent current or short circuit current, and this is found by replacing this resistance by a short circuit. So we apply Norton's theorem in two steps. First step is calculation of our Norton's equivalent current or short circuit current. So let us apply first step, step 1. Step 1 is calculation of In. Calculation of In. How to calculate In? How to calculate In? Remove load resistance, remove load resistance, put a short circuit, across open circuited load terminals calculate current in this short circuit by applying any circuit rule, right. So how to calculate the current in the short circuit or Norton's equivalent current? We remove the load, put a short circuit across the open circuited terminals of the load, and we will calculate the current in this short circuit by applying any rules of the circuit. Any rules of the circuit means you can apply nodal analysis, you can apply mesh analysis, you can apply KVL, you can apply KCL to calculate the value of current, and these circuit rules you have already gone through. So what happens in our circuit, what will becomes when we remove the load and put a short circuit? Short circuit is nothing but a conducting wire. Resistance or load is replaced by a conducting wire. That is meaning of putting a short circuit. So how our circuit will look? Our circuit will look like, here is our V1, then here is our R1, and here is our R2, here is R3, and here is the current source I1, and then a resistance R4, and we have the load terminals here. Now we will connect these things, and here was our load, and we have replaced the load by a short circuit, means conducting wire, and this is our short circuit or conducting wire. So we have to find current in this short circuit or conducting wire, and this is known as In or ISC, and we can apply any of our circuit rules to calculate the value of In or ISC. So these circuit rules are KVL, KCL, nodal, mesh, etc. Right. So this is step 1, how we calculate value of Norton's equivalent current. In is known as Norton's equivalent current, current, and this is also known as short circuit current. In bracket you can write short circuit current. Short circuit current, ठीक है, and that's why IN or in bracket ISC, ठीक है. तो this is meaning of Norton's equivalent current or short circuit current. We call it short circuit current because we calculate this current by placing a short circuit across the load terminals. So these are the steps to calculate IN. Now we have to calculate RN, that is Norton's equivalent resistance. To calculate Norton's equivalent resistance, this we will use step 2, and step 2 is calculation of Norton's equivalent resistance, right, that is RN, calculation of RN. How we calculate RN? We have to calculate RN, Norton's equivalent resistance, which will be connected in parallel with the IN, short circuit current. To calculate RN, what we do? We do in the main circuit, in the complex circuit, we have to open the load, that is we will remove the load resistance and find the equivalent resistance of the complex circuit seen from the open circuited load terminals and replacing the sources by their internal resistance. What does it means? We will how to calculate RN, how to calculate equivalent Norton's resistance. We will remove the load and calculate the equivalent resistance between the load terminals by replacing sources by their internal resistances. So let us see what will happen, or you can say the procedure for calculation of Norton's equivalent resistance is remove load resistance and find equivalent resistance as seen from the open circuited load terminals, by replacing sources with their internal resistances. So this is the procedure to find out the equivalent resistance, Norton's equivalent resistance. What we do? We remove the load and find the equivalent resistance of the circuit seen from the load terminals, replacing the sources with their internal resistance. And as you know, the internal resistance of an ideal voltage source is 0 and internal resistance of an ideal current source is infinite. Infinite means open circuit and 0 means short circuit. So this is how we calculate the Norton's equivalent resistance, and Norton's equivalent resistance we will be calculating from our basic circuit or original circuit or complex circuit, right. And we know that here was our voltage source, V1, and internal resistance of V1 is voltage source is 0, and 0 means placing a short circuit or conducting wire. Now after this there was R1, and here it is R2, and here it is R3. So this is R1, R2, R3, and here it was our current source. What is the internal resistance of a current source? Internal resistance of a current source is infinite, and infinite means we will keep it open. Infinite means we will keep it open. And here was our resistance. Resistance was in parallel with the current source. So we will. So here was our resistance R4, and here was our load. So we will keep it open. Load is removed, and we will find out equivalent resistance seen from the load terminals, and this equivalent resistance will be known as Rn or Req. ठीक है, तो Rn और Req they are known as Norton's equivalent resistance. Norton's equivalent resistance, Rn or Req. Now we can very easily, you can see, we can calculate the equivalent resistance seen from the load terminals by replacing the sources with their internal resistance. Other things will remain the same. R1, R2, R3, R4 will remain the same. Here was voltage source, we have replaced by its internal resistance, that is a zero resistance wire or short circuit. Here was our current source, we have replaced the current source with the open circuit. That means internal resistance of ideal current source is infinite. Infinite means there is open. So we have replaced sources by their internal resistance. Now we can very easily calculate the equivalent resistance between these two terminals looking inside that circuit, and we can very easily see that R1 R2 in parallel here, and in this equivalent R1 R2 parallel and equivalent of this R1 R2, we can very easily calculate R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2, and this will be series with this equivalent, and again we will get R3 plus R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2, and this whole equivalent resistance will be in parallel with R4. So we can very easily calculate the equivalent resistance. You have gone through so many examples of calculating equivalent resistance between two terminals. So this is this is how we calculate Rn. So now we have find our Norton's equivalent current, and we have found our Norton's equivalent resistance. So we can say that our Norton's equivalent circuit will be like this: a current source IN in parallel with Rn, and this will be this equivalent, this is Norton's equivalent, and here will be our load, and our load was R5. And now we can very easily calculate the current here, that is IR5. So this is how we can very easily calculate the current, and IR5, it is calculated by current division rule, and you know that this IN into Rn upon Rn plus R5. So this is how we will calculate the current in this load, by using Norton's equivalent circuit. So I hope the things are clear to you, and now we will take some examples or numericals to explain the concept further. How you can apply the Norton's equivalent, Norton's theorem in your circuits or networks, complex circuit. So principle we have explained. In the principle or in the procedure for calculation of current or voltage across any load, we have two steps. In first step we have calculated value of IN or short circuit current, right? How we have calculated? We have put a short circuit across the load terminals, right? And we have calculated IN or ISC by applying any circuit rules like mesh analysis, nodal analysis, KVL, KCL, etc. After calculating IN, in second step we have calculated Rn, Norton's equivalent resistance. How we have calculated? We have simply removed the load, and we have find equivalent resistance seen from this load terminals open circuited load terminals by replacing sources with their internal resistance. So we have calculated Rn. After calculation of In and Rn, we have got Norton's equivalent circuit, and from this Norton's equivalent circuit we have calculated the current in our load, that is R5. So this is the procedure, this is explanation of Norton's theorem. Now we will take some examples to clear the concept further, and how you can apply this theorem into your numerical problem. Suppose we have a circuit in which you have to calculate value of current, and this circuit, this example is find current through branch BE using Norton's theorem, and circuit is, it is a complex circuit. Suppose here is a voltage source and its value is 2 volt. Here is a resistance and value of this resistance is 0.1 ohm, and again here is a resistance, value of this resistance is 10 ohm. Then here is a resistance and its value is 5 ohm. Again here is a resistance, suppose it is 20 ohms, and then again here is a resistance, its value is 0.2 ohm, this is 0.2, and here is again a voltage source of 4 volt. So this is a circuit, and this circuit seems complex, and we have to suppose this is branch BE. So this is branch BE, we have to calculate the value of current in branch BE, means this current we have to find out. We have to find out this current, value of this current. Suppose this is I 5 ohm, current in 5 ohm resistor. So I5 we are denoting it. So we have to calculate this current. Now we can apply our Norton theorem to calculate the current in branch BE. How we can apply Norton theorem? So we know that any complex linear bilateral active circuit can be replaced by a simple two terminal network having a current source in parallel with resistance across the load. And this, what is load? The load is that branch in which we have to calculate the current or voltage. So it means this is load. The branch in which we have to calculate voltage or we have to calculate current in it is known as load. So this is our load, and this whole rest of the elements can be equivalent to a simple current source in parallel with a equivalent resistance, right? So we have to apply Norton's theorem here, and we know that we can apply Norton's theorem in two steps. One is, first step is to calculate value of IN, and second step is to calculate value of equivalent resistance. So now we will apply Norton's theorem. First step, what will be first step? Is step 1. Suppose we are solving this here, solution, ठीक है. In solution step 1 क्या है? Calculation of Norton's equivalent current or ISC, short circuit current. Calculation of IN or ISC. What is the procedure? Procedure is, put a short circuit across the load terminals, and find the current in that short circuit, that is IN. So our circuit is, here is our resistance, then our voltage source, and here is a resistance, and here is our load, and again here is a resistance, and again here is a resistance and a voltage source, right. So this is our 2 volt, this is 0.1 ohm and this is 10 ohm, this is 20 ohm and this is 0.2 ohm and this is 4 volt. This, and here was our terminal E, this is B. So we have to put a short circuit here, we have to put a short circuit here and find current in this, and this current will be IN. Now this is the circuit and we have to find out this. We can apply any rules to find out this circuit, and any rules, what are the suitable rules we can apply. Suppose we name this terminal as A, this is your B, suppose this is C, D, E and F, these are the terminals. These are terminals. What rule we can apply to this circuit to find, we have to find this current. Suppose we are applying KVL, ठीक है, we are looking that there are 2 mesh or 2 closed path, 2 circuits are there, one closed path is this, or one circuit is this and other circuit is this. So we can apply KVL simply to calculate IN. How to apply KVL? Suppose this current here, suppose we are assuming that here is a current, you can say I1, here is a current I1 and here is current I1, IN is going this side, it means what will be the current here? I1 minus IN, this is IN, I1 minus IN is the current going this circuit. Total current I am assuming I1, IN is going this side, so remaining current, that is I1 minus IN, is going in this branch. Now current in this branch is known, current in this circuit is known, so we can apply KVL. So KVL apply, we will apply KVL to, you can say, loop or mesh, KVL to mesh A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, E, A, B, E, this is E, F, A. So we are applying KVL to this loop A, B, E, F, A. How to apply KVL? As our convention we have discussed, this voltage drop, it will be minus 10 I1, because this point will be at higher potential plus and this at lower potential. How we decide positive and negative? Looking at the direction of current. We have assumed that current is flowing from this side, it means this is positive, this is negative, and similarly here current will be like this, I1 will be flowing here. So suppose current in this branch, what will be current in this branch? Here it will be I1, it will be I1, because I1 is here, IN going here this side and I1 minus IN this side, I1 minus IN will come from this side and IN from this side. So here it will be I1 minus IN plus IN. So IN will be cancelled, here it will be I1. So now we can mark the polarity of this also. So now we can write KVL equation for this mesh or loop. So KVL equation for this mesh or loop will be minus 10 I1, there is no voltage drop here, there is no voltage drop here, and this voltage we consider as positive because we are moving from negative to positive. So we will take at positive 2, and after we will take it positive, and this voltage drop, it will be since we are moving from positive to negative, we are tracing the path, we are tracing this path from point A, B, E, F, A. So this voltage drop will be taken as negative. So it means we can write this voltage drop as 0.1 R1 0.1 into I1, sorry, I1 and this will be equal to 0. So this is simply KVL to this mesh or loop. So from this equation we can find out value of I1, and value of I1 you can find out, it will be 0.198 ampere, or approximately you can say 2 ampere, approximately 0.2 ampere, it is 0.2 ampere, it approximately 0.2 ampere. Now we have to calculate current in this current I5. So current yes, sorry, we have to calculate current IN, we have to calculate IN, Norton's equivalent current. So for calculation of IN we are applying KVL to this and KVL to this. Now KVL to mesh, you can say KVL to mesh B, C, D, E, B, KVL to mesh B, C, D, E, B. So KVL to this mesh, as we have explained, so we can write 20 into, this will be minus 20 into I1 minus IN resistance into current, and again 0.2 into I1 minus IN and minus 4 is equal to 0. This is simply KVL. This drop will be resistance into current, resistance is 20, current is I1 minus IN with minus sign. So minus 20 into I1 minus IN plus this drop, resistance into current 0.2 into current I1 minus IN, sorry, this will be negative, this will be negative, take care, be careful, very important sign must be right. So this is negative, and again we are coming, we have to add this drop. So this drop, it will be again, we are tracing this side this way, so we are moving from higher to lower voltage, so we will take it as negative. Now put value of I1, put value of I1 0.2 ampere in equation, this equation, suppose this is equation 1, in equation 1. So we will get value of IN is equal to value of IN. What will be value of IN? If we put I1 is equal to 0.2 in this equation, so we will get IN is equal to 0.398 ampere, and IN from B to E, that is downwards, from B to direction. In case of currents we have to show the direction also. So IN will be downwards and having value 0.398 amperes. So we have calculated value of Norton's equivalent current or short circuit current. Now we will calculate equivalent resistance, Norton's equivalent resistance. And what is the procedure of finding Norton's equivalent resistance? The procedure to find Norton's equivalent resistance, this is our complex circuit. So this is the branch in which we have to calculate the current. So this is our load. So what is the procedure? We will remove the load and find equivalent resistance between open circuited load terminals by replacing sources with their internal resistances. So this is the procedure. Now in step 2 we are calculating, in step 2 we will calculate Norton's equivalent resistance, Norton's equivalent resistance. What is the procedure? We will replace we will remove the load, and replace sources by their internal resistance. So our load was connected between terminals B and E. So this was E. We have removed the load. So remove the load, and in the left side you have seen that there was a voltage source. So what is the internal resistance of a voltage source? It is 0. So 0 means a short circuit, conducting wire. Short circuit means conducting wire. And after this there was a resistance of, you can say, 0.1 ohm. There was a resistance of 0.1 ohm. So we will have resistance of 0.1 ohm here, 0.1 ohm, and then we had resistance of 10 ohm. So 10 ohm here, and after this our terminal B was there, and moving further, here was 20 ohm resistor, and here it was 0.2 ohm resistor, and here was your voltage source. Here was again a voltage source. So resistance, internal resistance of a voltage source 0, hence short circuit. And now we can say that this will be our circuit. So this will be our circuit when we will remove the load and see from open circuit load terminals. So left side there was a voltage source, the internal resistance 0, 0.1 ohm resistor, 10 ohm resistor, 20 ohm resistor, 0.2 ohm, again voltage source replaced by internal resistance. So it is replaced by a short circuit. Now we have to find out equivalent resistance seen from the terminals B and E. Seen from the terminal B and E. This will give you Norton's equivalent resistance, or RN. So we can very easily see that equivalent resistance between B and E. What will be equivalent resistance? REQ या RN. It will be this branch and this branch. Very easily you can observe that this branch and this branch between B and E, they are in parallel. So first branch will we have 10 and 0.1 in series, so 10.1 ohm in parallel with 20 plus 2.2 ohm. So this is RN, you can say it is parallel combination of this and this. So that's why we have written like this, and you know very easily this is upon 10.1 plus 20.2. So you can calculate the equivalent resistance between this is 10.1, right. So this resistance will come out to be this is 6.733 ohms. So this is our RN. Now we have found IN, we have found RN. So we can draw the Norton's equivalent circuit, and Norton's equivalent circuit will be now Norton's equivalent circuit. What will be Norton's equivalent circuit? Here is IN, a current source IN, and we have calculated its value. Its value we have calculated 0.398 ampere, and it is downward. Here it is not needed to write downward or upward. So because it is equivalent circuit, in equivalent circuit it is not necessary to write this, right. So we have our IN, and this IN will be in parallel with a resistance known as RN, and RN we have calculated 6.733, and across our load terminal, and load is here, and load is your 5 ohm resistor, and this 5 ohm resistor 5 ohm, and this is our terminal B and this is terminal E. So we had to calculate this current I5. So we had to calculate this current I5 in the resistance 5 ohm, so between branch B and E. So now we have replaced our complex circuit with Norton's equivalent, and Norton's equivalent is nothing but a current source in parallel with the resistance across the load terminals. So this is our load. Now we can very easily calculate current in 5 ohm resistor or current in branch BE as by current division rule. We can very easily, this is the current, it will be divided in two parallel branches. So current in this branch will be equal to this current multiplied by this resistance upon this resistance plus this resistance. So we can say this will be 0.398 multiplied by 6.733 upon 6.733 plus your 5 ohm. So this is very simple calculation, and you can calculate this current, and this current will come out to be 0.2283 ampere. So this current comes out to be 0.2283 ampere. So this is how we can apply Norton's equivalent or Norton's theorem to a complex network. What we have seen in this lecture, we have explained the Norton's theorem, right? Norton's statement is, in any complex linear bilateral active network, we can replace in any linear bilateral active network connected across a load can be replaced by a simple two terminal network having a current source in parallel with a resistance across the load terminals, right? And we have this was the statement, we explained this principle. Now how to calculate Norton's equivalent current is step 1, and how to calculate Norton's equivalent resistance we have also explained, and we have explained this principle or theorem with the help of a numerical. So I hope concept will be clear to you, and you will be able to solve any numericals based upon Norton's theorem. Thank you.